Thanks, Ross. Happy to be here. Hi, I'm Steve, co-founder and CEO of Arcturus, and we capture live sporting events in 3D. LDB Capital is actually our lead investor, with Myelin and Vanderbilt on the team as well. So, if you're a sports fan, you probably noticed a trend where more and more cameras are showing up in the broadcast. So, beyond the main broadcast cameras, we're seeing steady cams running around on the field between plays, sky cams and drones over the action, pylon cams, ump cams, goal cams, dirt cams, and then there's a whole other set of data cameras dedicated to officiating and player stats. So these days, it's pretty common to have a couple dozen cameras for a major game, all trying to get the right angle at the right time to tell the story. Viewing patterns have also changed pretty dramatically over the past few years as younger fans shift away from live linear viewing on big screens. So they're trending towards short form stackable highlights, often on mobile and social platforms versus the big networks and curated by favorite influencers. So this coverage tends to be more personality oriented, very dynamic, time delayed after the fact, and even formatted differently as portrait versus landscape. So we have more and more cameras capturing the action, but they aren't working together. And the output of them is, and the editorial for them is designed for traditional big screen linear TV, even though increasingly they're viewed in a very different context. So, what if we could get cameras working together and capturing a richer format capable of covering sports in different ways for different viewers? Our team of volumetric experts from Microsoft, ILM, Pixar, and Unity decided to go for it. So, here's a quick teaser of our work in volumetric 3D. And Zoom will probably demolish the frame rate, but here goes. So this is our volumetric coverage in action. We can put you right onto the court, onto the field in the middle of the play. We can show you any angle on the action, even an athlete's own POV, and we can get views that are impossible with physical cameras. More importantly, since we have a full copy of the action, anyone can come in at any time and create net new coverage of the same moment in their own voice for their own audience at or after the game. We're kind of like the ultimate steady camera spider cam. We can go anywhere, but we also have control over time and space to explore and explain the action. So to do this, we tuck small 2D video cameras about the size of your fist around the venue to sample different viewpoints and then feed those views into our processing service to reconstruct in 3D. So producers and creators take that 3D asset into our editorial tools or Unreal plugin to incorporate that volumetric content into their 2D or 3D coverage. In terms of scenarios, like you just saw, we can take that 3D scene and use it to render normal 2D highlight clips for traditional broadcaster streaming today. Or you can treat it natively and interact with it and explore the scene directly in 3D, like with an XR broadcast studio, think Sports Center, or on a tablet or phone. Even further, you can put on a headset and step into the action life size, like stand there in the batter's box, as though you're really there. And this is awesome for coaching and performance analysis. We should note that this is a fundamentally new type of media, which means that there's a new set of media rights available for teams and leagues to monetize too, which will get very interesting. It's a super short talk. I'll quickly highlight one use case. Since we can give you any angle, we can give you all the angles. So we have algorithms that can go into the volumetric and figure out where the ball and the players are, pick good spots to place and move a camera, and automatically generate 2D clips for producers and creators to choose from, just like they do from real cameras today. It's as though they have a couple dozen extra Steadicam operators, except those guys are on the court in the middle of the action, and they can fly, and they can stop time, and they can get in players' heads to see what the players are seeing. And at any time, the producer can reach into that clip and change the camera in 3D to get exactly the view that they want. So they're about to get some serious superpowers. So to wrap up, we believe long-term where this goes, and our sports partners are telling us this, volumetric will ultimately become the foundational media for most sports coverage. We're not going to replace all the broadcast cameras, but the heavy lifting would be done with volumetric. We will process the action in 3D in real time. Then producers will mix and match the 2D and 3D content depending on what kind of audience they're trying to reach and what kind of experience they're delivering. We should also note the exact same tech works for concerts, theater, live events, often hosted in the same venues in front of the same cameras. So as the market matures, we think this turns into a venue capability that goes well beyond sports and out into the world for things like film. So ultimately for us, it's about capturing and preserving these high value performances in a much richer, evergreen way, and then giving fans fundamentally new experiences that traditional 2D video never could.